One of the earliest and most overlooked warning signs that your house may be marked by criminals is unusual foot traffic near your property. Criminals don't simply break in without preparation. They often observe their target for days or even weeks before taking action. They watch routines, study entrances, and look for vulnerabilities. People loitering around your home, strangers peering at windows, or repeated unfamiliar cars parked nearby are all subtle indicators that someone is taking note of your property. Even brief visits at odd times can reveal that your home is being watched. Pay attention to patterns rather than isolated incidents. A single passerby walking past your property may not mean anything, but the same person appearing multiple times at irregular hours should raise suspicion. Similarly, cars that slow down, circle your block, or stop in front of your home repeatedly may indicate someone is mapping your habits. Criminals often take notes mentally or physically, recording when you leave when lights are on and which areas are less secure. Children playing in the yard, delivery personnel, or service providers can be innocent, but a trained eye will notice behaviors that stand out from the ordinary. Someone appearing overly interested in windows, doors, or garage areas may not be merely curious. They may be evaluating weaknesses. Even subtle observations, like someone casually lingering at the corner of the street or sitting in a parked car for extended periods, should be noted. Documenting these occurrences with time, date, and descriptions can help you detect a pattern and provide evidence if authorities are needed. Awareness of unusual foot traffic is not about paranoia. It's about proactive defense. Recognizing these small but telling signs allows you to act before a threat escalates, whether by enhancing security measures, alerting neighbors, or involving local law enforcement. Early recognition is your first layer of protection against being targeted. Another silent sign that your house may be marked by criminals is the presence of strange items left around your property. At first glance, these objects may appear harmless: rocks on a walkway, bits of paper tucked near fences, sticks arranged in odd patterns. But in reality, they can be deliberate signals used by criminals to identify or mark a potential target. These subtle cues are often part of a reconnaissance process, helping perpetrators communicate with each other or note details about your property without ever being seen. Criminals use these markers to indicate whether a property is worth targeting. For example, a small rock placed on a gatepost or near a driveway might mean the house is watched. Paper or chalk marks on walls, curbs, or sidewalks could indicate points of entry, timing, or vulnerabilities observed during previous visits. Even items that appear accidental, like a misplaced container or object resting against a door, may be part of a pattern used to map your habits or physical weaknesses. Being observant is key. Take the time to walk around your home daily and note anything unusual. Small differences that break the normal pattern of your property are worth investigating. Remove unfamiliar objects promptly, but document them first if possible by taking photos or noting time and location. This record can help identify whether a pattern is emerging over several days or weeks. Educating family members to notice these minor details is equally important. A child noticing a paper left on the front porch or a neighbor spotting something unusual in the yard can provide early warning. In emergencies, recognizing these small signs early allows you to take preventative action, enforcing doors, installing cameras, or contacting local authorities before the situation escalates. Paying attention to the seemingly insignificant details can be the difference between staying safe and becoming a target. Another critical indicator that your home may be targeted by criminals is evidence of scouting or tampering. Unlike overt break-ins, these early warning signs are often subtle, requiring a careful eye and consistent vigilance. Criminals rarely act impulsively. They prefer to test weaknesses before attempting a full-scale intrusion. Scratches on locks, marks on gates, disturbed soil near entrances, or slightly shifted objects around doors and windows can all signal that someone has been probing your property. Locks are often the first area to check. A minor scratch on the latch, slight misalignment, or where that seems out of place can indicate someone has tried to manipulate it. Gates and fences should also be inspected for prying marks or bent sections that suggest someone was testing their strength. Mailboxes, garage doors, and even window frames can reveal tampering. Small disturbances may seem innocuous, but they can be part of a reconnaissance routine. Soil, gravel, or mulch near entry points can also provide clues. Footprints, scuffed areas, or objects displaced in what should be an undisturbed landscape often indicate repeated visits. Criminals observe not just the physical defenses of a property, but also human behavior. They take note of when you leave, when lights are off, and where motion detectors are placed. Detecting these attempts early gives you time to reinforce weak points. Routine checks are essential. Walk your perimeter regularly, inspect locks, fences, and windows, and note anything unusual or out of place. Document findings with photos and timestamps to track patterns over time. Educate family members to alert you about any minor anomalies they notice. By recognizing signs of scouting or tampering, you gain a critical advantage. Awareness and proactive reinforcement can deter criminals from escalating their attempts, ensuring your home remains a safe haven rather than a target. Another silent sign that your home may be under scrutiny is repeated alarm or security system failures. In many cases, criminals will test the reliability of a property's defenses before attempting a full-scale break-in. They are looking for patterns, weaknesses, or times when the homeowner is vulnerable. If your alarm goes off unexpectedly without cause, your security cameras malfunction at unusual times, or your lights flicker in ways you cannot explain, these could be more than mere technical glitches. They may indicate someone is actively probing your home. Security systems are designed to protect, but they can also reveal patterns if not monitored carefully. Criminals may observe when your system is armed or disarmed, identify delays in response, or even attempt to disable cameras remotely. Repeated small failures, lights that fail at night, sensors that seem to trigger inconsistently, or doors that lock and unlock erratically, can signal that someone is experimenting with your defenses. These subtle indications often precede more direct attempts, giving you early warning if you are attentive. Monitoring and documenting these irregularities is crucial. Keep a log of any alarms, camera failures, or unexplained malfunctions, including time, date, and duration. This record can help identify patterns, whether it's a specific time of day or recurring anomaly, and can guide corrective actions. Regular maintenance is also important to differentiate between normal technical issues and suspicious activity. Proactive measures can deter escalation, adjust alarm settings, reinforce doors and windows, and consider installing additional cameras or motion sensors in areas showing repeated irregularities. Being vigilant about these subtle security system anomalies ensures that you are not caught off guard. Recognizing and responding to repeated alarm or security failures can prevent your home from being perceived as an easy target, strengthening your overall safety before any criminal action takes place. Another important silent sign that your home may be targeted is the presence of unfamiliar vehicles or faces in your neighborhood. Criminals often monitor several properties at once, and strangers lingering near your home can indicate surveillance or scouting. This behavior can be subtle, someone slowly driving by multiple times, parked vehicles at odd hours, or people on foot appearing repeatedly without a clear purpose. Recognizing these patterns early is crucial to preventing your property from becoming a target. Pay attention to vehicles that don't belong in your area. A car circling the block repeatedly or parked in unusual spots may suggest that someone is observing routines or looking for weaknesses. Note details such as make, model, color, and license plate if possible. Likewise, unfamiliar individuals loitering in front of homes, walking back and forth, or appearing unusually interested in windows and entrances should not be ignored. Criminals are skilled at blending in, so small anomalies in behavior, pauses near your property, taking notes, or snapping photos, can be signs of intent. Patterns matter more than isolated incidents. One unfamiliar face may be coincidence, but repeated appearances over days or weeks are warning signs. Documenting these observations is critical. Keep a log with times, dates, and descriptions of the vehicles and people you notice. This information can help you detect trends, predict possible threats, and provide evidence to authorities if needed. Community awareness can also help. Share your observations with trusted neighbors who may notice additional activity you might miss. Working together enhances safety and creates a network of vigilance. Recognizing unfamiliar vehicles or faces is not about paranoia. It's about being proactive. By staying observant and alert to these subtle signals, you increase your ability to prevent criminal activity and protect your home before any incident occurs. Another subtle yet powerful sign that your home may be marked by criminals is unexplained changes in your neighbor's behavior. In normal circumstances, neighbors have predictable routines, casual interactions, and familiar patterns of communication. When someone is observing or targeting your home, these social dynamics can shift in ways that might seem unusual or out of context. Criminals sometimes manipulate or intimidate those around their target to gather information, create confusion, or reduce the likelihood of intervention. Notice if neighbors who were once friendly suddenly avoid contact, act secretive, or seem unusually distracted when you speak to them. They may have been approached by suspicious individuals or may be aware of someone monitoring your property. Similarly, subtle gossip or offhand comments about your household can indicate that your home is being discussed outside of your knowledge. Even small anomalies, like neighbors suddenly leaving at odd times or changing routines without explanation, can be signals that someone is manipulating the neighborhood's social environment to your disadvantage. Being attentive to these changes requires observation and awareness. Keep track of patterns and deviations in your neighbor's behaviors over time. It's not about creating distrust. It's about noticing consistent changes that stand out from the norm. Document what you see and consider how it might relate to other warning signs, such as unusual vehicles, strangers, or tampering with property. Proactive steps can mitigate risk. Engage in discreet communication with trusted neighbors to share observations or warnings without raising alarm to outsiders. Strengthening community bonds increases collective vigilance and discourages criminals from targeting your property. By paying attention to social cues and unexplained shifts in neighborhood behavior, you gain an additional layer of early warning. Awareness of these subtle changes can alert you to potential threats before they escalate, giving you the opportunity to reinforce security measures, involve authorities if needed, and protect your home and family effectively.